Hi, we're about to do an interview with Juliette Powell on social media, new media, emerging technologies, and how that has an impact on the field of OD. So, there you go.
What I can say from my limited experience with interacting with OD practitioners here in Seattle is that there seems to be a great need to learn how to utilize digital technology overall, just on an individual basis. How that might then help the actual practice really depends on what the practice is. But if it is about connecting with other people, then I do encourage people to continue to do so face to face and then to reinforce that connection online. So I've met so many great people here at the conference that I hope to be able to stay in touch with, but the only way that I can possibly do that, because I'm constantly traveling and I happen to live in New York on the other side of America, is by utilizing digital technology. The rest, and whether we stay in contact or not, will really depend on whether we're able to add value to each other's lives, and that's really the premise of what I do. It's about building your social and your cultural capital, amplifying it through digital technology, and then all of this good stuff comes out of it, including return on investment, which is in many cases financial. So I would love to hear the answer from all of the OD practitioners that are watching this video right now. How do you feel that digital technology may in fact enhance your life, that of your community, and that of your practice?
That's great. So, in fact, that leads me to my next question, which are, you know, I've gotten to know you the last few days, and you've gotten to know some of the other people here at this conference. How do your values and goals of what you want to do in the world in terms of the impact you'd like to make in organizations, how does that relate to what you've seen with the glimpse you've had of OD?
I felt like I was speaking with my mom. Every single real meaningful interaction that I had at the conference felt like I was connecting with my mom, and I say this as probably the greatest compliment that I could possibly give, because my mom is my best friend. So the fact that I felt comfortable enough with each person that approached me to be wholly myself, because they were genuine, they were warm, they opened up their thoughts to me with respect to what I might be able to include in my keynote to make it resonate with the audience that's here, so that they gave to me just as I tried to give back. So I'm incredibly impressed with this community, and I hope to be able to continue to work with all of you.
That's great. That's great. Is there something you've learned about us in the way, when I say us, I mean not, the OD practitioners, something you've learned that you can take away potentially in terms of the way what you do with organizations? Anything that has inspired you particularly about the way OD practitioners see the world, or the way what we actually do in organizations that has impacted you?
I think that you've confirmed something that I felt instinctively but really didn't necessarily have a frame of reference for. In other words, the leadership engine that I showcased very, very briefly while I was on stage keynoting here was something that I kind of came up with off the cuff with Robert Paris, who's also an OD practitioner. He specializes specifically in leadership and training and transformational leadership. And so he had read my book, approached me and said, Juliette, there has to be a way to bring OD into the 21st century. I don't see it anywhere I go. I don't see it with other practitioners anywhere in the world. And yet, so many of the things that we do could easily be applied to technology. And so I had to figure out exactly what it was that he was talking about, whether it was training, leadership, whether it was risk. Also, there's so many different ways of learning how to become a leader, but it seems to me that when you're well surrounded by leaders, then you learn that much more effectively. And so I started thinking about some of the online tools that I had that had enabled me to really learn about leadership, about not leadership in an OD practitioner kind of way, but just general business leadership. Who were these people and what were they doing, and what were some of the tools that could reflect those types of interactions? And so I started thinking about, Twitter and Twitter feeds and hashtags, about wikis, about whiteboards, about forums that are public so that people could actually learn from each other, but also this idea of valuing each other, that it's not just about one person knowing everything and everybody else learning. It's rather about teaching each other. And so a lot of these connective technologies enable that. When I came up with the leadership engine, I called Robert right away and I said, well, okay, should I show this? And he said, well, yes, because people might want to learn more about it. This is a great way for us to be able to decide whether it's worth integrating within an organization. And I've had only positive feedback from this. I had about 45 people come up to me saying that they wanted to participate in the leadership engine, which we haven't even launched yet. It's not even an alpha. I literally finished it 3 days ago. So I'm incredibly excited to share that with you and to continue to learn with you. And hopefully you can help inform what this leadership engine can be for all organizations, because I don't think that it's going to be a one-off. I think that this is just the beginning, and that's thanks to you. So thank you so much, OD Network. Oh, and by the way, reach out to me. I want you to, if you can, if you're inspired, if you want to connect with me, the best way to do that is twitter.com/Juliette Powell, JuliettePowe.